Hello, good evening, and welcome to Sports Central on EzeSportsTV. And we are still covering the English Premiership. It's a beautiful Sunday, a Super Sunday. I think the first Super Sunday we have this season is the day we are going to be seeing Chelsea versus Liverpool. I have with me Harrison here today. Harrison, is a Super Sunday, first Super Sunday of the season. Chelsea is going to be taking on the champions Liverpool. How do you see this match?
Well, it's something that we live for. That is what makes the Premier League the Premier League. There are always special days like this to look out for, and this is the first of its kind since the beginning of the season. So it's something I'm excited to, I'm looking forward to it. I'm really excited to be seeing the game. I don't know what to expect, but I know I'm excited anyway.
Of course, a very wonderful match is going to be between Chelsea and of course Liverpool. Chelsea, we've seen so far very active in the transfer window, gotten a lot of talents in the squad that did very well last season, making it to the top four, and of course added quality players, and coming against a Liverpool side that won the trophy last season. How do you think it's going to feel? Liverpool, not really a good start for them, even though they won the match against the promoted side in Leeds United. Of course, Chelsea also not really a very good match in terms of performance, but also winning the match against Brighton in the first game. And this is a match both of them will be looking forward to winning. How do you think the coaches will approach this match today?
Well, Frank Lampard is almost like he's working with a new team, even though he still has about 70% of the team he played with last season. And I know he's going to play more midfield game, trying to control the game to see what he can like. I don't think Lampard is going to go all out against Liverpool. He knows the kind of team he's playing against. Liverpool are a very experienced side. Like you mentioned, they are the champions. So I think Lampard will approach them with a little bit of caution. Yes, just like you said, he didn't have a good start, but the most important thing is getting all 3 points. And Chelsea actually got all the 3 points in their first game. So I think in this game, Chelsea is going to be more like Chelsea is going to sit back, let Liverpool come to them, and then hit Liverpool on the counter attack. And coming from Liverpool perspective, their first game was nothing anybody expected. But like I said earlier, that's a very experienced side. I think everybody who made up that team last season are still there, and they're all fully fit. So Liverpool are still going to approach that game. In as much as everybody complained about them not adding anything, players to the squad from the beginning of the season, I still think this squad can do a lot. Yeah, so it's going to be a cracker, really. I don't know what to expect, like I said, but it's going to be a cracker.
Yeah, talking about Chelsea, we've spoken about the new faces they added to the squad. But in the press conference, Frank Lampard still maintained that Pulisic, a player that did very well last season, is not still ready for the match. Hakim Ziyech not still ready for this match, and of course Benjamin Chilwell, is not really fully fit to participate. Of course, you mentioned that Thiago have joined the team in training, but the match, it seems to be too early for him to participate. So, how do you think that affects Chelsea? This is Liverpool, and I'm sure Chelsea will like to have their best players on the pitch. But when you are talking about having 4 caliber players, as you've mentioned, sitting out of this game, according to Frank Lampard, we are yet to see the lineup today to know people that are involved. But he mentioned that these people might not really feature today. Do you think it's going to affect Chelsea, coming into this game today?
Well, of all the people you mentioned, I think the only person that his absence is going to affect Chelsea's performance is going to be Pulisic, because Hakim Ziyech hasn't even kicked the ball for Chelsea. Likewise, Thiago Silva and Ben Chilwell. To me, I think Chelsea has all it takes to approach this game. Yes, they will miss Pulisic. He's been terrific for them since last season. He's performed. He's taken some game in his end, like from Eden Hazard used to do during his Chelsea days. Sometimes when I watch him play, I see some sort of Eden Hazard in him. Of course, he's a very terrific player, and Chelsea are going to miss him. But aside him, I don't think Chelsea's game depends on all those other players you've mentioned, because all these guys haven't even kicked the ball for Chelsea. For now, they don't matter. Yes, they are part of Chelsea team. They are Chelsea players. If they don't play, yeah, Lampard can come and say, we have those people, they are not fit enough and stuff. But for now, the Chelsea team that has been performing from last season, apart from Willian who left, Pedro who left, I think every other member of that team is still there. Just like I mentioned, they're going to miss Pulisic a lot. But Chelsea has all it takes to approach this game.
So we saw some other new players also that played in that match we talked about against Brighton. We saw Timo Werner, very sharp. He added something going forward for Chelsea. Of course, he had a very good start, so to say. Even though he couldn't get a goal, but he got that penalty that led to Jorginho scoring the first goal for Chelsea. And of course, also we saw Kai Havertz, but we can't say the same for him. He had a very quiet start for Chelsea. It wasn't too good performance from Kai. These are two players, German players that joined the team, and a lot is expected of them. And this seems to be the very big test for them now to show that they deserve the whole noise and everything to play in the Premiership. For a team like Chelsea and against champions of England in Liverpool. How do you see them performing today, Timo Werner and Kai Havertz?
Well, for Kai Havertz, he said he has a very quiet debut. It was too quiet. He has this hype around him coming to the Premier League. He has this huge price tag on his neck. Yes, we don't expect him to do magic and score 10 goals in every single game, but someone with that kind of hype and caliber, we were all looking out for something more than what he gave us on his debut. He was nowhere close to the person we all saw before he came to Chelsea. But we can't judge him just because of one game. It's just a one-off. And someone can argue that Frank Lampard played him out of position, even though he came out to debunk that and say he can play in any position. But we all know that the position he played for Bayer Leverkusen last season wasn't the one he played for Chelsea in his first game. So I still expect a lot of good things to come from him, going forward. But this match is a bit too quick for me. If you ask me from my own angle, judging him from his first game, he's going to come into this game with a lot of pressure because he didn't do so well in his first game. He'll be looking forward to doing something better here. It might work for him, or it might work against him, but it's something that we're looking forward to see. And as for Timo, he had a very good debut. The only thing that was missing is that he didn't score a goal. He created chances. He made those in-between runs that he normally do for his German national team and also RB Leipzig. He was very fantastic. He was very terrific. He was a problem to the defense, and I think he wanted to play for Liverpool. Though Liverpool didn't come for him, he ended up in Chelsea. He would want to prove to Liverpool today that you actually missed something in not getting me. So I really expect so much from him going forward today.
Of course, coming to Liverpool now, the champions of England, they have kept the team that won the trophy last season. Nobody's leaving, even though we've had a lot about Wijnaldum joining Barcelona, but he's still there in Liverpool. And of course, they've added even more quality player in Thiago Alcantara. It might be too early for him. He might not be playing today, but Liverpool is still that Liverpool that with Mo Salah, Mane and Firmino and all those beautiful players. And they didn't do well in the first match, as we said, even though they won that match. And but coming to a new season where a lot is expected of them, how do you see them approaching this game? To make sure that they put their fear back into the other teams to say we are still here, Liverpool.
Well, Liverpool, like I said earlier, they are a very experienced side, and like you rightly said, they kept the squad that won the league, and they've even added more. Yes, Thiago Alcantara won't be playing today. He's not even in the squad. But I think Liverpool has all it takes. That was the first game of the season. I don't judge any team based on their first performance of the season. Manchester United yesterday was very awful. I expected them to do better than they did, but I want to judge them because that was actually their first game of the season. So I'm not going to judge Liverpool because of the performance in their first game of the season. That was just their first game. I believe a lot of players weren't fit enough. Some were just returning from holiday. Henderson, the Liverpool captain, started training 6 days to that game, and he started that game. So I wasn't even expecting him to be in the squad, but I was surprised when I saw him on the lineup. So I believe Liverpool, with the wealth of experience they have in their squad, they will approach this game just like they've approached every other game starting from the past 2 seasons. This game is theirs to lose. You understand? This game is theirs to lose. Even though they are going to Stamford Bridge to play against Chelsea, but it's still theirs to lose. Chelsea will be hoping that if we don't get a win, let's go for a draw. But Liverpool, being the champion, would want to come and win and also make a statement to the rest of the league that we're still the champion, we're still coming for the title. But being the champion sometimes is always difficult. Everybody wants to be the champion. So I expect it to be a cracker, but I expect Liverpool to do something. They have all it takes. They still have their players, wealth of experience. It's going to be a cracker, really.
So, Harrison, are you predicting this one, Chelsea against Liverpool at the Stamford Bridge? Who do you think is going to win this match today, and what's your scoreline prediction?
Going by the game, I would expect a draw, maybe a goalless draw. But if anybody's going to get any victory, I'll give it to Liverpool. Maybe a slim win, a 2-1 win, or a 1-0 victory. But looking at the game, I doubt if Lampard is going to come all out against Liverpool to play. I expect him to sit deep and then hit Liverpool on counter. So if I'm predicting, I'm giving it a goalless draw.
Liverpool playing against Chelsea, a goalless draw. But I doubt Harrison's prediction. I think we are going to be seeing goals today, from both teams. Of course, Chelsea against Liverpool. This is still Sports Central on EzeSportsTV. We are yet to see the lineup and to know who is starting for both teams. And we will still be here to update you, our viewers and our followers. Just keep staying with Sports Central on EzeSport. We always have you better. Of course, we've seen other games. We saw Tottenham, coming from that defeat against Everton and winning today's match. This is Premiership. There's a lot of twists, a lot of ups and downs for teams. This is what we expect this season, and we'll keep serving